And so when you're going into each of those markets, different launch team, like is it almost like a brand new client every time, or is it kind of is it the same? Is it the same team? What does that? Yeah, what does that look like?
Yeah, it's, I mean, a very good question. So when we start new with a client, we suggest start with your revenue engine first, with the lead generation and sales. Don't start with the GM first, and then, your GM of what, right? So start with that revenue engine first, and put that revenue engine in the markets where you think that we can be successful. So those could be UK, could be France, could be Germany. Now, they should be Europeans, but they don't always have to be in France. And so we have 50, 60 people in London, but it's a multinational team, and that's where we do most of our lead generation and inside sales from. So we can launch there with, let's say, a German engagement, but there could be 3 people in 3 native Germans in the London office, managed by our local sales management team. And then if we're successful there and we want to add sales management or our salespeople, so an account executive or a channel manager, we can add them to the team. That's successful. Then we can replicate that success with the French team, but also based in London. In other accounts where we're doing channel sales or enterprise sales, you need people in the market. Then we'll put people in the market, either on a full-time or on a half-time basis. So each of those have their subtlety and are slightly different, but they should be Europeans in Europe somewhere to be able to deliver that business.
I'd love to double click on this one. You said revenue engine first, and I think it kind of builds into the next question I was going to ask, which is, what does that perfect launch team look like for a country? So say I'm going to go into Germany. What's the first hire? What are my next? What are the success metrics? What do I see next? And then who do I hire after that? I think you kind of laid it out earlier, but I want to kind of double click on this revenue engine piece.
Yeah, I mean, it really depends who you're targeting. So if you have a company who's targeting the top 20 banks in Germany and that's it, well, you don't necessarily need a lead generation person for that because there are 20 banks, right? Well, 20 target banks in this case. So you need somebody who's an enterprise salesperson who lives in Germany, who's got experience selling whatever the platform is, security or fintech or whatever it is, as contacts in those 20 banks. So it's not an English person who's a finance guy and calling in English. It's a German person, native German, who's got those personal contacts. On the other hand, if you're targeting restaurants in Germany and it's a high volume business, well, it's less about people with personal experience because nobody knows 10,000 restaurants. It's more of an engine bringing the data, bringing the calling scripts, the content, and putting it in our Salesforce CRM with cadences and really pushing that out in volume, call, email, LinkedIn, whatever it is, to be able to address that market. Which brings up another point. GDPR in Germany is incredibly sensitive. So on your campaigns, you can't lead with email marketing because they're very strict against GDPR. So you really have to lead in Germany, calling and LinkedIn, and they use Zing, which is a German equivalent to LinkedIn. And then email is really more of a support function. So building the teams really depends on the target market, whether it's higher volume lead generation, inside sales, or mid-market, or enterprise or channel.